Have you ever wondered what lurks in the shadows of your personality and society? Shadows have always been a source of intrigue and mystery, and in the realm of psychology, they hold profound significance. Each person carries within them a shadow, a side of themselves that they may not be fully aware of or choose to suppress. This shadow can be an obstacle to our happiness, a stumbling block on the path to true self-understanding. The shadow isn't singular in nature. It consists of two components, the personal shadow and the collective shadow. The personal shadow is the dark side of ourself, the aspects we don't want to acknowledge or admit to. It's the part of us that we hide away, the part that can make us uncomfortable. But here's the kicker. The less it is manifested in our conscious life, the blacker and denser it is. Then, there's the collective shadow, the dark side of our society. It's a reflection of what opposes our shared values, the collective wrongs that we as a society commit. This shadow represents the immeasurable harm done by human beings to each other and to nature, with enormous consequences for future generations. It's vital to remember that while the shadow is often perceived as negative, it's not wholly so. It also contains positive traits like courage and creativity, aspects that we may suppress due to fear, societal pressure, or self-doubt. Exploring and embracing these shadow traits can reveal valuable aspects of ourselves. If left unexplored, these traits can hinder personal growth and lead to feelings of resentment and guilt, hampering our ability to assert ourselves. Both the personal and collective shadows are complex and multidimensional, often terrifying yet elusive. They are the enigma that we must unravel to truly understand ourselves and our society. As we encounter these shadows in our dreams, in our actions, and in the world around us, we begin to see their influence on our lives. The shadow, though often perceived as negative, holds attributes that can be harnessed for personal growth. So, let's embark on this journey of discovery and see what our shadows have to reveal. Diving into the depths of the personal shadow, we encounter a realm of unexplored traits. This shadow, an unseen companion on our journey through life, is a repository of everything we have disowned within ourselves. These are the aspects of our personality that we have pushed into the darkness, deeming them unacceptable or undesirable. The personal shadow is neither inherently good nor bad. It is simply a part of us, encapsulating traits that we have banished from our conscious self. This shadow can hold within it elements of anger, fear, and insecurity, but it can also be a treasure trove of creativity, courage, and untapped potential. It is the dark side of our personality, yes, but it is also a mirror reflecting back to us everything that we are, everything that we can be. To ignore or suppress this shadow is to deny a part of ourselves. It is to give power to guilt, resentment, and self-doubt. When we push these traits away, we create an internal conflict that hinders our personal growth and our ability to assert ourselves. The more we suppress these traits, the denser and darker our shadow becomes. But what if we chose to explore rather than suppress? What if we shone a light into the darkness, unveiling the hidden aspects of our personality? This exploration can be a path to self-discovery, a journey into the unknown that reveals to us valuable aspects of ourselves we might have otherwise overlooked. This exploration often happens in our dreams, where our subconscious mind weaves narratives using symbols and scenarios that reflect our shadow traits. These dreams are not mere figments of our imagination, but a dialogue between our conscious and unconscious selves. Engaging with our shadow is not an easy task. It requires us to face parts of ourselves that we might rather ignore. It is a painful process, but it is also a path towards self-education, towards understanding and integrating all aspects of who we are. Encountering our shadow in dreams, we are offered a unique opportunity to engage in the painful yet enlightening work of self-education. Beyond the personal, we find the collective shadow, a vast and often terrifying aspect of human life. It's like a multi-dimensional monster lurking beneath the surface of our society, its many arms representing the negative traits we collectively harbor. The collective shadow is a concept that reflects what opposes our shared values. It's an amalgamation of the darker side of society, the parts we don't often want to acknowledge or confront. It's the societal norms that cause harm, the systemic issues that perpetuate inequality and injustice, the cultural biases that fuel discrimination. It's the violence, the oppression, the hypocrisy that we witness, yet often choose to ignore. It's the wars, genocides, and the harm we inflict upon nature. These elements of our collective shadow manifest in countless ways. We see it in social stratification, where the gap between the rich and the poor widens. We see it in spiritual decay, where values and morals are compromised for personal gain. We see it in the rampant diseases, the pervasive poverty, the escalating crime rates. We see it in the harmful habits we indulge in, like alcoholism and the excessive use of social media. Yet, despite its tangible manifestations, the collective shadow can be elusive. It's ubiquitous, yet not always obvious. It's like a chameleon, blending into the background until we're forced to confront it. And when we do, it can feel like facing a terrible monster, each arm representing a different societal issue we need to address. But understanding and acknowledging our collective shadow is crucial for our growth, both as individuals and as a society. It's only by exploring this shadow that we can begin to see the harm we're causing and take steps to rectify it. It's a journey of self-knowledge and integrity, a journey that requires us to carry our darkness and work towards integrating our shadow. The collective shadow, ubiquitous and elusive, serves as a stark reminder of the immeasurable harm we can inflict upon each other and nature. It's a call to action, a plea for us to wake up and take responsibility for the world we're creating. After all, the collective shadow is not just a reflection of society, it's a reflection of us. Carrying our darkness, we embark on a journey of self-discovery and integration. This journey, as essential as it might be, is not always easy. It requires us to confront the parts of ourselves we often prefer to ignore, the parts that lurk in our shadows. However, the rewards of this exploration are immeasurable, leading to greater self-knowledge and integrity. By working through our shadow material, we can gain a deeper understanding of ourselves, our motivations, our fears, and our desires. This understanding allows us to integrate these shadow aspects, to accept them as part of our intricate tapestry of self. It's a process of reconciliation, a way of making peace with the parts of ourselves we've previously rejected or suppressed. But this journey is not just about personal growth. It also has profound implications for our relationships and our societies. Integrating our shadows can help us to resolve internal conflicts that may have been causing us distress or hindering our progress. It can free us from the chains of resentment and guilt, enabling us to assert ourselves more effectively. Moreover, by integrating our shadows, we can also influence society positively. We can become more compassionate, understanding, and accepting, not just of ourselves, but of others too. We can become agents of change, helping to shift societal norms and values towards more inclusive, empathetic perspectives. Yet, it's important to remember that this journey is ongoing. It's not a destination to be reached, but a path to be walked. We'll always carry our darkness with us, but by acknowledging it, by working with it rather than against it, we can use it as a tool for growth and transformation. So, as we delve into our shadows, let's do so with courage and curiosity. Let's embrace the opportunity to learn more about ourselves and to create a more harmonious relationship between our light and our darkness. For it's in this balance that we find our truest selves and our greatest potential. Bravely shouldering our burdens, we strive towards a more enlightened self and a better society. In the dance of self-love and rudeness, we find a delicate balance. This balance is a dance that teeters on the fine line of perception, a dance that can tip towards self-care or veer towards disregard for others based on the steps we take. As we journey through life, we often stumble upon actions that seem to blur the line between self-love and rudeness. For instance, enjoying a cake by oneself or ensuring a seat on a crowded bus can be acts of self-love. However, when these actions are carried out excessively, without consideration for others, they may be perceived as rudeness. This is where the dance becomes a balancing act. The key is to understand that self-love is not about disregarding others, but rather about respecting and caring for oneself. It's a dance where we must carefully choreograph our moves to ensure we are not stepping on anyone else's toes. Now, let's consider the role of the people around us in this dance. The love and respect we receive from others often act as mirrors, reflecting back our worth and reinforcing our capacity for self-love. These manifestations of love from others imbue us with an emotional charge, a positive energy that fuels our dance and strengthens our steps. But what happens when these manifestations of love are not forthcoming? This is where our shadows come into play. The shadows we carry can sometimes obscure our dance floor, casting a veil of doubt and insecurity over our steps. This is where the dance of self-love and rudeness intersects with the journey of shadow integration. By acknowledging and embracing our shadows, we can learn to dance with them, adjusting our steps to ensure we maintain our balance. In the end, the interplay between shadows, self-love, and rudeness shapes our individual and collective identities. It's a dance that we must all learn to navigate, a dance that requires us to be mindful of our steps and aware of the shadows that dance along with us.